Welcome back to the Local Lab with Amanda Jordan. Today we'll be talking about information architecture and internal linking. As always, I found these sites at random. I have no affiliation with the site owners or anyone who's doing their SEO. I hope if anyone at these companies find my videos that they find this helpful. And here we go. So a lot of businesses see information architecture and internal linking as secondary concerns, not things that they need to truly be concerned about to rank, but they impact the usability of your website and those location pages, and it also impacts Google's ability to, or any search engine's ability to find, crawl, index, and rank those pages. So it is key. It is important, and it's something that's often overlooked by businesses. I've got some examples pulled up of things that are going well for some websites and things that are not going well. And a lot of what I recommend really will depend on your business and how many locations you have, where are you located? Are you international, national, regional? All those things play into what could possibly be the best decision or position you could put yourself in for internal linking and your information architecture. These things are important, like I said, because it does impact your ability to be found. And if you can't be found by searchers or by the search engine, then you're not going to rank for anything. So it's key, it's important, and we can go from there. So, really, your information architecture is the backbone of your website. It kind of connects the pages together, it connects the information on your site so that it's easy for a search engine to go in and out and figure out where all the pages are and how they're related to each other. So the complexity of your information architecture, especially for a local business, like I said, depends on where you want to rank, and how many locations you have and how many service areas you have. All these things can be a factor here. In my example here, this is a business that is nationwide. And I see a lot of them do this, and it is likely the best way to do this is to have a find your studio or a find locations page where you list out all of your locations, and from there they can click and get to the page for that specific location. So here, now we're on the Frenchies Venturas, California page. If we click here, now we're going to be on that's not good. I want to click on this then. The Beaumont, Texas page, or actually subdomain, and that kind of leads into one of my points that I'll make later on. We'll get back to that. Now, if you're a business that, say you're not nationwide, maybe you're just regional, or maybe you are, and I was just looking in Texas. So if we zoom out more, they have a nationwide map where you can either choose your state or choose it on the map itself, and then it gives you to a more filtered out menu that only shows you the Texas locations. And then from there, you can click to get to more specific information for that specific location. Now, if your business is not nationwide, maybe it's regional, you may want to have a drop down. Why? It makes it easier to find the pages. It makes it easier for people to figure out if you have a location that serves their area, and it provides more internal linking to those location pages that you want to rank. So all good things having it here, but if you have so many locations that it's too complicated, then having a hub page that you link all of your locations from could be a better option for you. And that's kind of how you decide which way you want to go. It's based on the number of your location and based on the complexity, really, of your service areas and your business. Now going back to URL structure. So this is the one that's really interesting. A lot of businesses typically go one of two ways. They over optimize, and I think we've all seen that. That would be like if this URL was pest control mosquito control roach control pest services Tampa. Things like that are not super helpful. They don't make it easier for users or search engines to really find your page and understand what it's about. Keep it simple. I think this is a good example of that. I think all the ones here, like this is not a good one because they have this -2. That means that there's another Ventura, California page that is somewhere out there. It may be being indexed, it may not be, but this -2 is not helpful. I would recommend fixing that, redirecting this URL to the one that does not have a -2 at the end. Maybe we can find another example to use. Colorado Springs, yeah. Yeah, this is fine. If they're planning on having multiple in Colorado, I would maybe just do /Colorado/Colorado Springs or /CO/Colorado Springs, just because it makes it easier for you to follow the path of where the pages are taking you to. And it also makes it way easier if you are planning on doing any type of audit or review for your location pages by state. It makes it significantly easier if you have folders or have a structure that supports that. So that's about over optimization. For the most part, URLs are good. One thing I want to touch on is that they are using subdomains instead of using subfolders or subdirectories. That can be a tricky one. If you've already gone down the path of using subdomains, I think you probably should continue to use them. But if you are a newer business or you're just considering getting service area location pages, or you only have a few, it may be better just to use a subdirectory. Why? Because subdomains do not receive any of the SEO benefit of the root domain. So any authority weedman.com has, any backlinks that weedman.com has, Google considers, and any search engine considers separate from beaumont.weedman.com. Those things are not related in the eyes of the search engine. So it's important to consider that when you're deciding which method you want to go with. This also could be important for blogs, because a lot of sites will take their blog and put it on a subdomain, not understanding that whatever authority or backlinks your blog content could get will not transfer over to your main root domain, because those are two different websites in the eyes of the search engines. So in most cases, you're better having them on one, unless they're like about completely two different topics, completely different services, things like that. But if they're all topically relevant, you're likely better off using subdirectories over using subdomains when just considering how you want to organize your URLs. Next topic is internal linking. This is one of the most underutilized parts of SEO, and I see location pages being mistreated with internal links even heavier than most other pages on the site. One of the biggest issues I see is that businesses often link away to other pages for their anchor tags. So like if you're linking to your location pages, that's fine. If you're linking away from your location pages to another relevant page, that's fine. But what I've seen a lot of businesses do is that they will link to they'll take something like pest control services and link away to a different page from that anchor text, saying that, oh, this beaumont.weedman.com page is not the most relevant page if someone's looking for pest control services. We're telling you this other page is, and that's not true. You want the Beaumont page to be considered the most important page in Beaumont for those services. So that is one of the things to consider is is your internal linking sending people away to blog posts that you don't want to rank, or is it sending people to key pages that you want to rank for these really specific, really clear commercial intent terms? And you should be wanting to rank those location pages for that. A caveat for that is that your anchor text needs to be more specific. You can't rank, if you're in 50 different cities, you don't want pest control services with no modifier for location to be trying to be sent to a bunch of different pages, 50 different pages with the exact same anchor text. That makes it confusing too, because we're telling Google that all of these pages are the most relevant for this one keyword. So it's better to use a variety of keywords, and it's also better to focus your efforts as far as your anchor text on location-specific keywords, when possible. I understand for bigger businesses, it's sometimes where franchises with several locations, hundreds of locations, that can be super difficult. And a way to get around that is to use a microsite information architectural strategy for your locations. So you can have a microsite or use a microsite type function on your site, whether you use a subdomain or a subdirectory, and have internal pages for that location that talk about the different services related to it, and they all link back to the location, the main location landing page for that location. And that helps build internal links for that location and shows local relevance without taking away any potential value from any other location page because it's all related to the same city. That is one of the best internal linking strategies used and is used by a lot of franchises. And it would be the one that I would recommend the most for most businesses. So wrap it up here. We want to make sure that our location pages are somehow available through the main navigation. So that could be a drop down with a list of our locations, or a location link in the main navigation that gets you to a hub page where you can find your specific location that you need. You want your URL structure to be logical and mention locations / service areas, something like that. And if you're in multiple cities or states that are in the same area, you do want to use a subfolders that are specific to that state or that city or to that street to help identify and clarify which location you're talking about. Because you can run into issues if you have two locations in Houston and you only have one location /Texas /Houston. You may want to use the street or neighborhood as a modifier there at the end of that URL to make sure that it's clear which location you're talking about and make it clear for search engines so that there's not any cannibalization and Google understands which Houston location should be ranking for which searchers. You also want to make sure that you are using internal linking correctly as well. So you want to make sure that you're linking to your location pages. It's okay to link away from them for key terms that are related to other pages or key services. Say you offer your you have a main services page and you want to link your beaumont.weedman.com page to your main services page that has a list of all your services. That's perfectly fine. What you don't want to do is use your location page as a way to link out to a bunch of blog posts that are more irrelevant as far as I'm concerned for commercial intent keywords. You want to make sure that your commercial intent keywords leads people to pages that are relevant for helping them make a decision on whether they want to hire you or not. And with internal linking, you want to make sure that you are linking to your location pages using anchor text that uses a local modifier so that it's clear which location page you're trying to link to and the relationship between that anchor text and that page so that it's not the same anchor text being linked to lots of different pages. It's okay to link out from your location page as long as you're making sure that it's in a way that's logical and it's supporting what your true efforts are in the pages that you want to rank. Like your homepage, services pages, those are perfectly fine to rank to from your location page. I just wouldn't spend a lot of time linking back to blog pages. I've seen businesses take a keyword like pest control services and link it to a blog post instead of linking it to a service page. And things like that will be detrimental to your SEO more than helping it. So making sure that you're thinking about your internal linking pages, your internal linking logically, and making sure you're linking to pages where you want to see growth and improvement in their visibility, and you're linking using keywords and terms that make sense for that specific page. So I hope that gives you a lot of information, a lot of things to go on. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.